Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of the At Home Gooner. Here I am at home. As we all are. We're all at home Gooners at the moment, aren't we still? Not looking likely that we're ever going to get back into the stadium at the moment with the way the world is at the moment, but you know, such is life. So just wanted to do another quick catch up. It's been a little while since I did one for you guys. There isn't much to go on at the moment. I wanted to do, ideally I was going to do one after we'd closed the transfer window, but I thought I'd do this one now after the two Liverpool games and with the window about to close. It's just for this episode, this video, whatever you want to call it, you know, it's nonsense that I'm throwing out there that no one ever watches. This was always meant to just be like a video diary for other people to see and watch and whatnot. And it feels like we go over the same bit over and over again, but that's football, and it's cyclical, right? So, but what I wanted to go over on this one, I really want to make a point of this, and it really bugs me. Is this whole transfer window outlook because of Sky Sports News, really, and the way, and Jean-Marc Bosman and the way they changed football with the free transfer and then this transfer window coming in, and Sky Sports News with Jim White and his stupid yellow tie, and it becomes an event, and you get lad Bible people going out and dressing up as a manager and sitting there watching it and until midnight, to, you know, on telly all night long and whatever. It's become an event. And it's become a stick with which to beat the team. You know, it's a really weird situation where if you're not spending money, you're seen to be not loving the club. You know, or I mean, look, don't get me wrong, Stan Kroenke has done a lot of bad, or you know, a lot of ill towards the club, in my opinion. But this whole concept of spend some effing money, you've got to buy players. You know, Arsene Wenger said when he signed Rob Holding, I'm sorry he only cost £2 million. It just because you spend a lot of money doesn't mean to say it's going to guarantee you success or the ability to gel or whatever. Look at Man City. Look at the amount of people that they have bought in defence. Look at the amount of money they've spent on defenders, and they still can't defend properly. That's down to coaching, not just the players they're buying. So yes, we need fresh blood. Yes, we need to get rid of the players that we've got. And part of the problem is no one's going to want to take those players, so we can't move them on, so we can't then buy the next player. We can't just go out and spend money, especially now. There isn't money around to spend, really, genuinely. I mean, big clubs are doing loan deals and spreading payments because they're not getting the money in that they were getting through the gates. So of course we're going to see a change. It's going to be a different transfer window. Why can't people understand that that is what's going to happen? Last year, we went ballistic because we'd signed Pepe for £72 million. You know, we went out, we did business in the transfer window. What did it get us? We got a player in Pepe there is a player in there, but he hasn't been coached properly, or he's not quite as far developed as he should have been. And we had a manager that didn't know what to do with them at first. You know, then we got Freddie Ljungberg in, then we got Mikel Arteta in. He might not be one of these players. William Saliba hasn't been able to play for Arsenal because he was on loan before. I think if we're hearing what we're hearing is correct, is that his mum has sadly passed away, so of course he wants to go back to France and stay with his family, but because of the time we're in, he doesn't want to go there and then have to isolate for 2 weeks over there and then isolate for 2 weeks when he comes back. So of course, get him a loan deal, let him be in France with his family. That's gonna happen, and that's the sort of thing that I want our club, my club, to take on board. I don't want them just to be another money grabbing, you're a player, you're a commodity, we own you sort of club. I mean, we're doing that to Mesut Ozil. Don't know what's going on behind closed doors with him, so of course you can't really comment on that properly. But it's this insistence that you are only a decent club if you spend money. There are clubs in the league that don't need to spend money. Leicester really don't spend a great deal of money. They've got a coaching staff in, they've got a team in that do the right things the other way, and they go up, they're doing what they're doing. I'm not comparing us to Leicester in terms of size of club. Obviously, we're a bigger club than Leicester. But what I'm saying is that their transfer model works for them, and maybe this one will work for us. Our transfer model will work for us. You can't tell me that signing Gabriel, he might not be a world beater, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a Virgil van Dijk, but he's better than what we've got. And Mikel Arteta wanted him, and he can work with him. And that's what you want. You want players that the manager wants and can work with. Don't just go out spending money for the sake of it. Man United signed Edinson Cavani. I'm sure you've all seen Goldbridge's reaction to it. He's right. He's a player that wasn't wanted by anyone else. PSG didn't want him anymore. He's been a free agent for so long. That's not a great sign. It's a squad signing. It's good to have him in your squad. It's good to have the experience and whatnot. But don't try and spin it like it's some well-beaten, we're going to win the Premier League because of this one signing, signing. It's the modern fandom. When transfers were allowed to go through the season and whatnot, you didn't get this. I remember waking up when Man United signed Andy Cole, and that was like, whoa, what's happened now? You got the occasional one, but you don't. But now it's all about it's got to be a marquee signing. It's got to be massive. What if he flops? It doesn't matter. Look who we've got. It's just and Real Madrid. Real Madrid are the ones as well that have helped perpetuate this, and they were the ones really with the first big show-stopping transfers where people would come out and do keepy-uppies on the touchline and all that sort of game, and then that then progressed into social media world where someone had to have a decent video and all that game. But it's not all about that. It's about, surely to goodness, we're all Arsenal fans because of what we fell in love with the club, not with who they were signing, not with, for me, not even really what they were doing on the pitch. It just felt like they were the club that spoke to me, that I felt a kinship with. There was something in there that I didn't get from other sports or even other football teams. When you go to their stadium, you didn't get that feeling that this is where I'm supposed to be. These are my people as well. The people that surround me or that are watching the game that have got a common shared interest. We get from the same patch of grass in North London. It's so for me, I will herald signings. I will say that's amazing. I'm looking at, I might even go Uzi. Not sure about that one. Like when we signed Yossi Benayoun, But if he puts the shirt on, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to back him unless he does something wrong. And if he does turn out to be a duff like Park Bench or even Nicky Benter, really, you've got to turn around and say, okay, well, it didn't work. You can critique them, of course you can. You can critique the spending, of course you can. You can do it properly, but let's not just have this, let's spend money for the sake of spending money. If Arteta's going out there and they're not getting the player they want, and this, so I mean, mainly it's about Uara, whatever his name is. Look, if we've got a valuation and they've got a valuation, Leon, and we can't meet, what's the big deal? When I bought my house, I didn't go to them. I didn't come up and say, right, this is how much I want to pay, and they say, well, we want £150,000 more, and I didn't go, yeah, all right then. I couldn't stretch to it, so I could only go to my maximum, and luckily we were able to get a deal done. And I bought my house, brilliant. That's surely how transfer fees work. It might be a bit different. They can say, well, look, let's bump it up with, we'll give you the flat fee of this and then make the rest of the way you want it. But if they don't value the player that much, I'd rather us not go into debt for one player that could break his leg when he first turned up, could have anything happen to him, might not be able to settle in English football, could be a Jose Antonio Reyes, who was a fantastic player but didn't like it in England, wasn't suited to English games, so then we lose money on him, God rest his soul. And it would happen if this guy, who really no one had really heard of until the end of last season, beginning of this, if he comes out and has an amazing season, we can say, yeah, that was one that got away. We can add it to the list of players that Arsene Wenger was supposed to have signed, or could have signed. But it could go the other way, couldn't it? And what would be, and then you'd have all the fans that would say, you should have spent money. They come out and go, what did you spend money on him for? It's a no-win situation because this is what they've done. This is what they've been fed. They've been drip-fed this. It's got to be a big signing or else it's not good enough. I mean, some of the players that we've signed, years ago. I know you can't compare, but I'm gonna. So, like players like Perry Groves, he came in and did the business for us, and he was he's never going to be a legend, but he won 2 titles at the club, and he played his part in those 2 titles. And there are little squad players. You look back now, even now, Gilles Gramondi did his business for the club. He wasn't a heralded signing when we had Bergkamp and Vieira and Petit and Overmars, Pires, all those players around it. But you need the little ones as well. You need little players that just fit into holes and do all the work. You Kante at Leicester. He was a big signing when he moved to Chelsea, but at Leicester he wasn't. And everyone realised what a good player he was, and they picked at him for nothing. So it doesn't have to be a big transfer fee. It just has to be the right transfer fee on the right player in the right position that you need. And Man United going and buying Cavani, I don't think they need, or getting him on a free transfer, or having to pay the money that Mark Goldbridge was saying they have to pay to his agent. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's not a player that I think Man United need anyway, that position. I think they're all right there. They need more creativity in midfield. The same as we do. We need a player that can play in midfield properly. Having said that, I don't think that's going to be Arteta's way still. I think he still wants us to play on the counter-attack, trying to use the pace. But we shall see. There might be. We haven't really seen Plan B from Arteta yet, and maybe that's where he's going. Maybe he's trying to get the players that he wants for Plan A, and Plan B will be the counter-attack. We don't know. But so yeah, that's what I'm trying to get off my chest. I'm trying to get off my chest that you don't have to be a big force in the transfer window to have a good transfer window, as long as you strengthen where you're supposed to strengthen and you spend the money that you set out to spend. All right? It's no point going to the supermarket and going, well, look, I got these I got these crisps on special offer. Buy 10, get 33. Well, did you need 10? No, but I got 33. Yeah, but if you didn't need 10, the 30 aren't free because you've had to spend on 10. And that's what, oh, we just go and buy stuff. We want stuff. Bung them in the... Well, we can only play 11 players on the pitch. What's the point of having it? We've got an abundance of centre-backs at the moment. Maybe because he's going to go 3-5-2 or whatever it is. So he's going to get injuries in that position a lot. I'm still pro Arteta. I'm backing him all the way. And if he doesn't want to spend the money on one player, fine. I'm happy with that. Go somewhere else. Rather it not be Jorginho, as it's been linked. But that's another story. So that's that. That's the transfer rant off my chest. So then we come back to the game. I said before the Liverpool game, I didn't do a video. I did an audio podcast on Anchor, the At Home Gooner. You can catch me on there as well. Get me at Twitter at Gooner Armchair. I said before that game, before the Liverpool game in the league, I said that was a real marker for where we were, because the Liverpool game in the league at the Emirates at the end of last season, we won, and we won luckily. They gave us a couple of goals and we defended as if our lives depend on it and whatnot. But I thought that was a real turning point in terms of where we were with the big teams. Going to Anfield's always going to be an issue. Not only even without fans there, there's still something about the stadium and whatnot. There's still something there. There's still maybe a mental block with some of our players that have been there a little while that have still got that in their head. Oh, it's Liverpool, and they are, without a shadow of a doubt, and it hurts to say this, they are the best team in the league by a country mile. They are the best team in the league. They get out a ball at the back, but they can blow you away at the front, so it doesn't really matter. So it was for me. I was saying before the game, I thought we might get a high-scoring draw, or they would probably smash us off the park. And I think a lot of people were expecting Liverpool to absolutely blow us away. It was never going to be a sneaky 1-0 or anything like that. It was going to be, like I say, a high-scoring draw, which it could have been if we look back at it. Well, there's no saying that they wouldn't have gone on to score the third anyway, but as it was, we gave him a decent game. And that's what I was looking for now. Arteta, we've got to remember, Arteta hasn't been a coach for that long. He's not going to go to Anfield and set up to attack them. Why would you? That's stupid. They were already going to push you and pressurise you and harry you. And if you're going, right, we're going to go gung-ho, a la Arsene Wenger, you're going to get knocked 6-8-2, that sort of stuff. That's what's happened to us. Shore up the back. Yes, it's George Graham. Yes, it's going to be a little bit boring, but you've got to do it at the moment. Everyone has to do it when they go to Anfield. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter who you are. You're going to have to hold the back line first and work from the back. You start with a clean sheet. Can you keep that clean sheet and maybe grab a goal? You can't go, let's go gung ho, whoa, because they will blow you away, because they'll open up spaces and you'll be caught on the counter. So I think Arteta was right to do what he did, and we gave him a decent game. We held on. We weren't amazing. We weren't our old swashbuckling selves, but we did what we were supposed to be doing. We went a goal ahead. I'm going to say it. I'm going to be boring and say it. Mane probably should have been sent off. You know, it was a high arm into the face, and he had already had a little nibble at Bellerin. But it's at Anfield, even though there are no fans there. The referee's still got to be a bit stronger than that. It wasn't far away from the line-out, assistant referee on that side. So they should really have called it as a foul. VAR could have gone back and looked at it, but of course, because if he booked him, they're not gonna. But that's neither here nor there. Really, you know, we could it could have been, we could have dealt with the aftermath of that as it was anyway. And I think if Liverpool would have had the Mane sent off, they would have felt aggrieved by it and probably might have stepped up a level and really pushed, you know. They, as I said before as well, they wanted to get one over us because of the win at the end of the season and because of the Charity Shield. Even though they'll tell you that it didn't matter, they wanted to make sure that we hadn't become their bogey team, as I said in my audio podcast, which is, you know, it's not very flattering towards us. We're more than a bogey side, do you know what I mean? We're still a good side. Taking the lead at Anfield, that was pleasing, even though it was bizarre the way we did it. Lacazette showing sort of the flip side of him with the chance at the end. We could have made it 2-2. You know, we had a Aubameyang against Olympiacos, did that as well. We haven't got. What we're missing is an actual Ian Wright type striker who that's what he wants. He just wants to score goals. Eddie Nketiah is not far away from that. I just don't think he's Premier League class. Just not Anfield Premier League class. You know, he can do a job in the Premier League, but not up there yet. He can get there, definitely. And that's what you want. You want your Jermaine Defoe, Ian Wright, and I think that Eddie can get there eventually. Just wants to score goals. Doesn't care about the fancy flowing football and all that around it. If the ball's bubbling around, he's going to stick it in the back of the net. And I think when he matured a little bit, he would have put that away where Lacazette didn't. And that it's fine lines. We go 2-2 there, and who knows? There's there's nothing to say that Liverpool wouldn't have stepped up a level, but we might have been able to hold on. And I think a 2-2 draw would have actually been a good result and a fair result on the night. Just about. I think they still played us off the park, but you know, just about. We did enough just about to get a draw like that. But you know, that was always going to be the first real challenge of the season. I actually think we passed the challenge quite well. We didn't get blown away, so I'm happy with that. You know, I'm happy enough with the performance, not the result. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we went and done, you know, the League Cup. You've got to write the League Cup off because of the teams that they play, but again, it's another win, and it sets up the Man City game in the League Cup. So it's another stern test, and they're going to be really on it. You know, they've been battered by Leicester. They drew against Leeds last night. That would be Saturday, the 3rd of October. So they're going to be up for that game. We play Sheffield United today at the Emirates. They've given us hard games recently, so I'm looking really now to see Arteta say, look, let's not play counter-attacking at home. I want to go out and attack, and I want to beat Sheffield United. These are the games that you have to go out. And this is where you can't play counter-attacking football. You have to go out and play the game. I genuinely would I would drop Lacazette. He's scored in all his games, but I would drop him. I'm going to play Aubameyang through the middle with Saka wide on the left. I would swap Saka for Aubameyang and Aubameyang for Lacazette. Other than that, I would probably keep the squad as it is. And that's all. And that's. I actually think I can see us winning. Prediction: 3-1 against Sheffield United. And I think it's going to be a good game. They're going to come out. Arsenal are going to come out flying. I think Arteta's going to have them wired up. And that's it, really. That's where I am with it all at the moment. Obviously, this could all change in the transfer window because there's still a little bit of time left to go as well. You've got people out there on Twitter saying we want to lose the game to show the board. You can do one. You're the same as Piers Morgan, who said he wanted us to lose an FA Cup to the FA Cup tie, so it would get Wenger out of the club. I don't care who you support as a football team. I don't care what's going on behind the doors at your football team. If you you can't call yourself a supporter if you want your team to lose. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care if... genuinely, I can't even find the words for it. I never want my team to lose. Never, ever, ever, ever. There would only be one situation where I allow myself to say, I hope we lose today. And that was if the team we were playing had to win to stop Tottenham winning the league. That's the only situation where that is valid. To stop, and even then, that's Tottenham thinking. You know, you're into that style of thinking. I don't want to be that guy. And I'm never ever gonna. I mean, it's never gonna happen anyway. To be fair, but other than that, you can't want your team to lose because you're not a supporter in that case. You're not. It's just it don't sit well, and that's it. That's all I got. What else can you say? We're what, 3 games into the season, about to play our 4th one. We've got 6 points. Liverpool are going to be hard to stop. They're going to walk away a bit. So let's see how close we can get to them. I think we're better than Man United. I think we're better than Chelsea. So I think we've got a real good chance of getting top 4. I do think, as hard as it is again to say, Tottenham, if they get themselves sorted out, they could push again. I just don't think Jose Mourinho is the man to take them up there. But with the signing of Gareth Bale, that will help. I've been mocking Spurs fans, but I think if he can get fit and keep him fit, then he's a great player and he will get them wins where they would have got draws maybe last time. Him and Harry Kane and Son together, it is actually genuinely quite worrying for an Arsenal fan to see that when we haven't quite got that. But ours can click. Ours can click. And we could have Aubameyang, Saka and Pepe, say. There's 3 really fast front men that can really do the business. So enjoy your football. Thanks for watching. If you have watched, if you haven't, well, what's the point of me talking to you because you haven't watched it. And I will see you the next time I record a video. Cheers, guys. Come on, you Gunners.